All right, welcome back to episode 31, everyone, to the Rally Report podcast. I can confidently say today's guest is the most underappreciated, underrated top 10 player right now from Cairo, one of the strongest hitters of the game. Welcome, Salma Hany. How are you? How's it going?
Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. Salma, is this your first podcast, by the way? Have you done?
No, I've done a couple ones before.
Okay. Well, to start this off, I just want to ask you what's been happening right now it's the off season right now. So are you training? What's been happening in your world?
Yeah, it's the off season now. I finished my last turn. My last turn was in Luna, and obviously I didn't make it to the World Tour finals this year. So, which is good. I got to have more time off, and I used that, and I think I took almost a month off, and I actually needed that. So I was happy that in a way, I was happy that I didn't make it. So I have like more time off, and then I'd have more time to get into the trainings and, the preparation for the new season. So yeah, I'm training at the moment. It's the weekend now. So as you see, I'm not really in a training environment.
It's got to be the best background I've had from any of my guests.
Yeah, I usually don't miss any sunsets, but so I'm gonna let you enjoy the sunset today, and I'll be talking to you. Yeah, I'm with my family at our beach house, and yeah, it's been going good, and the tournament is the season's kicking off in 2 weeks.
And how do you feel? Are you feeling confident right now? Where's your headspace at?
I'm just I'm just excited really of what's next season has in store for me. I put in the work. I'm trying to do my best every day, and the little tiny things that we do every day is that what really matters. I think I'm really good in finding like small things that I can prove every day, and I think this is what counts, what really makes a difference. So yeah, it's just it's all about the consistency of what you do on a daily basis, and I'm just trying to do the best in these things
and beat everybody.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
So I don't want you spilling all the secrets, but if you don't mind, you want to share a couple things you've been working on this off season. Any small things you might want to share?
I have a feeling that you're going to give me some hard time today, but
I will. I 100%
will. Well, I've been working on my movement a little bit, and also how I can adjust to the different game plans, how I can change my game plan within the game, and not to take me a lot of time to adjust to like a game, like an opponent's game that I wasn't really prepared for, and just work on how I can adjust to different types of games from the other opponents, and also working on just be relaxed and enjoying my time.
Do you think that was one of the concerns for last season, was it was getting too intense for you? Is that why you're working on trying to be more relaxed?
I think so. I think I think last season was a little bit, it was different. Like we played through the summer, and then we had a long season. It was packed with a lot of tournaments, and maybe I didn't really manage how I deal with those amount of tournaments with no gaps in between. So yeah, I think it was a little bit too much. Yeah, and I think this is I put a lot of pressure on myself towards the ending of the season, and I think I'm not a fan of playing in this state. So I'm just working on being more relaxed and enjoying the little things and give credit to myself and the little things that I do and improve it, and then hopefully the big things will come.
Yeah, and hopefully some of the changes in the PSA will happen. I've had a couple players come on the podcast complaining about how PSA wouldn't let the coaches coach you in between games for this past season. They were saying that's absolute shit and that needs to change because
it is changing.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good news.
they actually just sent us an email a couple of days ago.
Yep.
That coaching is back.
Oh my
which
God.
is very exciting. It's
Let's
very
go.
exciting, right? Yeah. It's. I feel like. I don't know. We take everything for granted, and we don't really know the importance of small things. But I think when the coaching was, like they took away coaching from us, we felt how important that thing is for the game and for us and everything. So I'm just really glad that it's back. I think it's. Well, I didn't like the idea that they wanted to do. I'm not sure if that was their intention, but they want to do everything like tennis. Like, we're not tennis, and nowhere near tennis. So
we're not getting the money that tennis is providing. So
so coaching is back, and every player will get to have one coach that can coach them for the whole tournament.
Yeah. Well, and also speaking back to the off season, Salma, I know we talked about this off the camera, but there have been rumors circulating lately about your move from Blackball to Helipolis. What's been happening? Can you give us some insight, a little bit of a sharing of secrets of what happened with this huge move?
So I I played for Blackball for 3 years. That's I'm not sure if you know, but I'm originally from Alexandria, and I moved to Cairo 4 or 5 years ago. And then I used to play for a club in Alexandria, and Blackball was the first one I played for in Cairo. So I played for them for 3 years. And, towards the end of our contract period, there was some, issues with the board, with, some...
We'll just put it as probably issues. Yeah.
Well, it didn't really end on good terms, I would say. I just think that the absolute, my absolute right is to get my rights without, having to, spend so much energy and mental effort to ask for these things, which is a thing I hate. Like the athlete is already doing so much in their lives so they can perform well and focus on what they do, what's important. I don't think I need this in my life. Like, I don't really have the capacity in my mind to do these kind of things, plus my trainings, my everything that I have in my life. So I just felt like it was just very hectic for me, and I felt like they were taking me for granted. This is my absolute right is to take my my rights without really asking for them. I really tried to solve the issue, in so many friendly ways. I'm still trying to be friendly, but I just felt like it's time to go to another, peaceful environment, and I'm so glad I went to Helipolis. It's an amazing club, and I play with an amazing team, and obviously we did so well this year in the league.
I'm going to ask about this league match, but yeah.
Yeah.
So have Helipolis, would you say, have given you the support that you need as a player? Have they been good to you?
Yeah. So I think they've been. Yeah. I'm not really asking for anything more than my rights. Like, I just need. I mean, if we have a contract, then you ask me to do some certain things, and I do them, and I should get the same as well in return, right? It's not like I'm asking for something extra or something,
right? And
just like if you want to, it's just I don't really want to talk much about this, but Helipolis have been really good with me, and I'm really happy with the people there and the players, and hopefully it's going to stay the same.
Yeah, well, I'm going to move on from there. I don't want to make you too uncomfortable contagious. But so a couple weeks back, where I think it was a month back, where I saw that league final match between the CIB and Helipolis, right? And it seemed incredibly intense. How intense are these Egyptian league matches? It seems lots on the line.
Yeah, like it's. I think it's the strongest in the world. I mean, imagine. So we played the final against Wadi Degla, and their team has Ali, Mazin, Yusuf, Brahim, and Noran, and Hanya, and Rowan, which is pretty much all of them are inside top 12. And they have Karim Gawad as well. So
that's not too bad. Another big name.
Yeah. So it's just so the league is 5 days. We play with the 5 big clubs in Egypt, and you pretty much play with a top 10 player every day. So you don't get to play with an easy match. There's no club that has an easy team. So we did quite a surprise in that week. And I think so my team was, I'm not sure if you know, but my team was me and Noor Al-Tayyib, and Marwan, Shubagi, Ali, Hussein, and Salman, another junior player who just beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did he beat in the?
Salman. He just beat a higher seed in the World Juniors.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's go.
And he's playing another Egyptian today, and I'm not sure if they played or not. So it was a pretty underestimated team.
Wait, so Noor Al-Tayyib is on Helipolis, but Farag's in Wadi
Degla. Wadi Degla, yeah.
So I would have expected them to be on the same team. So that was a huge...
No. Last day we were playing with Wadi Degla, and I was talking to Ali, and I was like, okay, like he was actually watching her in her match, and she was playing against Rowan. I was like, Ali, who do you really want to win today? And Ali has to give the perfect answer, but he didn't.
As always.
Yeah. But yeah, Ali Hussein and Salman, they actually are the superstars of our team this year, and they got us the 2 big wins, and they got us in the final, and it was a very proud moment. Actually, it was so nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Do these league matches, are they like big on the summer off-season time, or do they happen throughout the year?
Well, it's no, I think. Well, yeah, last year I think it didn't happen during the COVID year.
Okay.
But usually it's like a week meeting between all the clubs, or 2 maybe, and yeah, just one meeting in the year. Because we don't play it on the off season, of course, but also like during the season, we just it's so hard to get a date that no one's playing a tournament, because even sometimes the federation try to schedule it in a time that has no like big events, but also like some players can play like a 50K or a gold event, and it's just so hard to schedule an event that everybody would agree on. And we played it in a very actually difficult time. We played it right before World Tour Finals or Mauritius, I think, which was, it was just really hard to schedule a good timing this year. But I'm glad it went fine. But I think they're gonna do like 2 meetings this year.
Okay.
I'm not sure how they do it.
So, something that's very exclusive to just Egyptian squash culture, and that no part of the world really has, is whether it be through league matches or training partners, the access of having top players in a training facility at all times. And I wanted to get your thoughts as someone who is one of the top ranked players in the world. Is that tough to manage every day? Like you're going to practice, because the intensity must be at another level when you see all these top players at the same club, having to train with them, having training matches, and no part of the world has that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you manage that? Is that not really a big deal for you?
Well, I think we just got used to that kind of intensity since we were very young. You know, we
Mm.
used to play a lot of local tournaments, and we got used to that pressure and intensity from a very young age. And I think it's a good and a bad thing, and I think everyone is different as well. It can be hectic and overwhelming at some time, you know, like when you I mean, I can play 3 or 4 players in the top 10 in 1 week for practice matches, which is really hard as well, you know, like um and it's also hard because you don't really get to have some sort of privacy, I would say. Like you're always,
Oh.
players are always, in front of each other.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it's good that we definitely push each other. We get to practice with, the best players in the world, which is good. But sometimes it can be a little too much.
Yeah. Have you
But yeah,
ever have you ever thought about moving elsewhere out of Egypt as a training base?
yeah, yeah, a lot of
Really?
times.
Where have you
Yeah.
considered? Where have you considered?
Um, well, I was so close to move to the States. I was working with
Oh
Whale
shit.
Hindi for some time, and I
He's
was
got the
so close to
kinetic.
move. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was so close to move to Florida. I don't mind living abroad or be alone, or I actually enjoy um, that lifestyle outside Egypt. It's a little bit hard in Egypt for athletes. It's just a pretty chilled culture. It's just not. It was just really you would have to create your own healthy, circle and
Mm,
atmosphere in a not very healthy culture, I would say.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't mind. Like I don't mind changes, or I love trying new things, and if it's a big if it's a big decision or a big I would say like a new thing. Sometimes new things can be scary, and I like to try them. So I'm not scared to try new things and live in different places, and so yeah, I'm okay to try new things and open to live somewhere else sometime in my life.
So Florida could still be an option for you, maybe in the
Maybe.
in the future. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be that would be.
I just don't
Yeah.
really mind if I find a healthy atmosphere for myself and for the kind of life that I want to live, and good trainings, good place. Why not? Why not?
Right. Who are your main training partners right now at Heliopolis? What do you say that you get to you're hitting with?
Um, I actually hit with everyone. I don't go to Heliopoulos every day.
Hmm.
I train in several clubs around Egypt.
I see.
So it really depends on. No, I'm not necessarily I go to Heliopoulos. I sometimes can play with another Heliopoulos player, but somewhere else. And it's just because there's so many players, not only the top players, but also a lot of good juniors. I train a lot with the boys. The junior boys, they still kick my ass, so they're always good training partners. And it's just so hard. Like by the time you get to play with the same player again, it's just can be a month away because there's
Mm.
so many players.
And they're all on their
Um,
own schedule. Yeah,
yeah,
got it.
but yeah, I do train a lot with. I wouldn't say a lot, but like I actually play with everyone. I don't mind playing with anyone.
Okay, that's fair. I think a lot. I mean, a lot of the questions I received, and a lot of questions I even had about you and
How's
like
the
Egyptian.
sunset?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I think, yeah, we're all curious about the nature of relationships between Egyptian players on tour. And it's not hard to tell that some of you guys really don't get along with each other, as seen with this season, as everyone has seen on the matches. But I wanted to hear your take on it. Do you feel like you get along with most of them? Like, what's your dynamic like?
I feel I'm okay with everyone, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, it's. I think also COVID played a huge role on,
Mm-hmm.
like for a year and a half, it was nobody would interact with anyone, and and also like during COVID, like for example, Ranim retired, and I feel that I was very, very lucky to get to spend and travel with Ranim and Omneya, and
Yeah.
get to be with this kind of group. Like I think that was the best part of my career so far, because it was just different, and they would always get us together, everyone, and we would look up to them and want to do like them. Um I think this group of great players like Omneya, Ranim, and Inji, they were just like, I don't know, I
They
just
were
love them
sweet and
so much.
nice.
Yeah, they were so sweet and nice, and it was so, you could feel the love between them, and they, and obviously they would want to pass how they would want to pass this to the younger generations. So when they were around, I think there were more connection between the players. But then
I see.
one, like, they kept on retiring one after the other, and then COVID happened, and then it was everyone is alone. I still would say that we're close. I think we're, yeah, not sure, to be honest. I think it's really getting, the competition is just getting, I don't know. I don't know.
The women's tour right now is unfucking believable in terms of
Yeah,
how good and deep it is. So, like, I guess it
yeah,
makes sense naturally, the competitive nature, but wow, it is so feisty out there
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have that kind of connection like it was before. Maybe even when Ranim and Omnia were around.
Yeah. See,
But
Salma,
I'm personally,
yeah.
I'm okay with everyone. Um, yeah, I'm really okay with
I mean,
everyone.
what baffles me is the fact that PSA, don't they require you to share a room with random player, like not even a random player, but like you have to share a room. And like I had like Nicky Mueller, and he said like he used to share a room with Rosner, but after that he's like, all right, I don't really want to share the room.
Yeah, that's hard, I think.
That's
I mean,
hard, yeah.
I'm a person who loves to get along with other people, but also really appreciate my space. I love my space. I used to
Yeah.
share with Omneya a lot. I
Mm.
used to share with Noral Tide before she gets married.
Ah.
And sometimes I would share with Sherbini. But then when that changed, and the COVID time was amazing. Everyone would get their own room,
Yeah.
and yeah, it felt so good. But then now we're back to sharing rooms with other people. I also share a lot with Olivia when Alan's not playing the tournament. Olivia is very close to me. She's
Oh, I see.
a very, very close friend to me. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough. So I'm gonna ask about your honest take about how you felt about this season, and I wanted to do a little season review with you. How have you felt about this past season in 2021, 2022?
Well, it wasn't obviously a very good season for me. This is how I see it. I was, well, I started as, I started ranked 7, I think, and I ended 9. Obviously, it wasn't my goal. And yeah, I don't think it was a good one for me, but also there were so many positives to take out of it. I had a couple of good events, like obviously San Francisco was very good for me.
Yeah.
TUC also was good. I mean, yeah, I was 3-4 seed. I lost in the semifinals, but what's so special about this?
Yeah, that was 11-9 in the fifth, right? In the semis. Was that in the TOC?
I'm not sure. 11-9 or 7? I'm not sure.
Selma, I might be knowing your match results better than you do. I'm pretty sure it was 11-9.
Yeah, it's just, but I'm actually very. It was a bad one, which is okay. I'm accepting it because I'm very, very excited for the next one. It's going to be a new challenge, and I'm going to be outside the top 8. We'll be playing top players in the first round, which is going to be very exciting. And I just somehow it's giving me that excitement that, as if I'm, a young upcoming player who wants to, chase, something. And, I have, yeah, it's somehow making me very hungry to get and play with the top players earlier, which is gonna be maybe a good thing for me because I used to play those players, after 2 or 3 matches in the tournament. Now I get to play them first or second round, which is gonna be better for me. So yeah, I think, but there was a lot of, no nobody knows what happens in the background.
Mm.
Everyone expects that the athlete would show up in their 100% in their best every single tournament. And nobody knows what this person is going through, which is okay, which is normal. Everyone goes through a lot of things in their lives, but we're also human beings, and it's just
Did you feel like people were
sometimes,
going at you for not performing as well as they would have liked you? Do
yeah,
you think people were
of
giving you a lot
course.
of pressure? Yeah, fuck. That's
Well,
tough.
yeah, well, a couple of like when like something gets shared on Facebook or like anything on the social media platforms, and if that are lost and like a bad loss or whatever,
Ugh.
and I would find people saying things in the comments that are very harsh. I mean,
Oh no.
it's
Okay, yeah.
yeah. I sometimes try to ignore these things, but to be
Yeah.
honest, I don't ignore them. Like I read them and I remember them. But it's okay. I
Yeah.
think everyone goes through that. Like even if you're the best player in the world, people sometimes will find a thing to talk about, which is okay. You just a part of it, and it's just what's really important, and what's the hardest thing is that you keep on doing what you do every day. It's
Yeah.
it's the consistency, of doing the same things on a daily, like the things that you do every day with no one clapping in the background, with no one pushing you or encouraging you.
Hmm.
It's only you. And I think the past season I've been through a lot of downtimes, which is okay. Everyone goes through that, and it made me learn a lot of things about myself, and I keep learning every day about myself and how to deal with these things better. And I'm just yeah, yes, it was. I would say it was I don't want to say bad season, but
It is not a bad season, Salma. You can't say that. It's
it's
your top 10
um
player. I know you've had some really good results.
it's not one of the best, I would say, so
Okay.
far.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of things that I overcame and got through that nobody would know about, but I'm
Hmm.
proud of.
Yeah, I think it's so
So yeah.
funny that you mentioned that earlier because I was thinking, like, not that I have anything in me that I could become a celebrity, but I think I could never become a celebrity just because if anyone writes hateful comments about me, I'd be reading every single one of them and saving
Yeah,
like. I don't think I could do that, and it's tough. And I
it's
guess
really tough.
I didn't even realize that like that's a part of the job. You gotta
Yes, it
deal
is
with
part of the
public
job.
scrutiny. Yeah.
And expectations as well. It's like
Yeah.
when you go to a tournament and you're injured or whatever, and you see people come at you, and like they're just it's just more pressure on you. People
Mm.
expecting that you'll be in the final or whatever, and just have to deal with this expectations and then deal with their disappointment and your disappointment as well. So
Yeah.
you just keep learning how to deal with these things, throughout the years, and yeah, you're never gonna get away from them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, let's talk about some good stuff. What would you say is your favorite match of the season?
um, favorite match of the season, I would say Joel King in San Francisco.
Yep. I had a hunch that was
It's
going to be the match.
you know what? It's just I just love San Francisco, and it just makes me feel very peaceful. And sometimes, like I had no expectations of myself that tournament. Going into that tournament, I wasn't feeling good. I actually wanted to pull out, but
Wow.
it's just because I would take the scooter going into the match, and people would look at me like, "Oh my God, you're about to play a match, and you're like." you're on a scooter, you might fall or anything. I would just really enjoy my time there, and I was just in a very good mental state. And this is why it's not really the win or that I reached the final. It's just I was just really happy and enjoying my time there. This is
Oh shit. Okay.
this is I think that was more important for me and more valuable to me than the actual win. And
Oh
and
wow.
obviously
Yeah.
because it was another big win after beating Gohar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's just I was just happy there.
Well, Selma, it sounds like you need to move to San Francisco. That's what I'm taking out of
Maybe.
this.
Yeah, I love that place. I love it.
Yeah. And it seems like, would you say then you're a best fan of the best of three format?
Um I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't want squash to change to a
Dude,
best of three
that's,
format. It
yeah.
just worked out fine for me that time.
Yeah.
And
It seems
yeah.
like also a call out to Canary Wharf to add the women's event. It's about time that you guys start adding in for both.
Oh yeah, is it? Is it happening this
I
year?
don't know. I
women's
don't
event?
know. I don't think so, but I think they should. They only feature the men's. It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's,
Are you a fan more of women's squash or men's squash?
I think this past season I've been leaning towards the women's a little bit because of the feistiness and the
Yeah.
drama that's been happening, and then it kind of got boring with Asal's drama kind of getting down. So I had
Yeah.
as a casual fan, you got to gear towards what's causing more ruckus out there. Well, Salma, I'm gonna now transition into the quick fire segment. It's gonna be a bunch of fun little.
We're not there
questions
yet?
now.
Okay.
We're gonna get into it, but before we start that, I'm gonna do this thing where we build the perfect player, but you can only use active players on tour right now, and there's
Okay.
absolutely no shame
Oh
in
my
choosing
God.
yourself. So we're gonna start off with best forehand in the game.
Best forehand? Forehand what?
Oof. Oh, you're making it specific. I was just
Yeah,
saying
I'm a
in
very
general.
specific person.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Well, what about best forehand length in the game?
I would say Noor Shibini has a pretty amazing forehand.
Really? Okay. I was going to say her backhand, but that's an answer I didn't expect.
I mean, she's incredible on both. But
Yeah. How about best length in the backhand side?
myself.
Solid answer. Solid answer. And who do you think has the best movement in the game?
The best movement, I would say Hanya.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And best mental strength?
Tribini.
Sherbini. Okay. There you have it. I mean, clearly not specific enough, but that's all I have for the perfect player. And now I'm going to move on to the actual quickfire segment. Salma, who's your favorite ref on tour?
My favorite ref is
Yeah.
what I like Sheldon.
Okay. How about best dressed on tour?
Best what?
Best dressed player on tour.
I would say the competition is getting hard.
It's getting
this
good.
one.
A lot of players are really
Yeah.
fancying it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would include myself definitely in this one.
Yep.
Rowan also. This is nice.
That's
Lisa.
it? Oh, Lisa. Yeah.
Chen.
Salma, I have a better question coming up for you, so you better be ready for it. Because I'm going to ask.
Okay.
I'm going to ask who's the worst dress player on tour, or who needs work?
Who needs work? Oh my God, Sean. No. You did not ask that.
I've had players answer this question in my past podcast, and it's the same couple names that have been dropping, and I think one of them is in your club.
Is in my club, Helipolis?
Yeah.
Girl type?
Yep. She's been.
You know what? She doesn't dress bad, of course, but I always feel that this is this is Noor. Like she has her own style, which
That's
is
her
I
style.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it suits her personality, and it's actually not bad. I think it suits her, and I think she knows what suits her best, and she dresses it. It's not like she's
Okay.
doing too much and it's bad. She wears all black or all white or
Yeah.
white and black. It's not really. It's just so basic that you can't really say it's bad. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't really agree on that.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
I would say I hate those questions. I hate those questions. You really want to call out names?
I do want names for this one.
You're asking the wrong person. I can't do that.
Well, it's funny because it seems like you have a couple in mind. I don't know if you just don't want to share it, but
I do, but it's just not. Oh my god.
I mean, we don't have to. You don't have to answer it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We'll talk off the camera about your answer because it seems like you have a couple names already in your head. But who would you like to see in the commentators booth from like who's active on tour right now that you think is really funny and
who
would
is
do a good
active
job?
on court?
Or like anyone in the squash community that you think would be good in the commentators booth?
I think Laura is great.
Yeah. How about yourself? Would you see yourself in there? Would you ever want to do it?
I think I would get bored.
That's
Sorry.
a very honest and fair answer for it.
Sorry. I think
Are you not a fan of watching squash?
Not really.
That now everything makes sense about why.
Not really.
Just
I mean,
in and out.
Very few players that I would really want to watch. I hate watching. You know, it's a very bad feeling when you lose in a tournament and you go back home and the tournament's still going on, and you just because the whole family is squash fans anyway, so you just have to sit and watch. But I usually don't watch. But yeah, just too much squash. Like we play squash every day. We travel for squash. We think squash. We're not gonna watch squash.
Yeah, and now she's doing a squash podcast.
No, I'm really enjoying that.
Endless squash.
Just, I mean, if it's a really, really nice match, then okay. If it's it's gonna be enjoyable. But if you're just gonna watch some length and cross and just easy, it's just boring. Sorry.
Yeah. How about this? If you were competing in the softball doubles, do you play doubles?
No, I've never played it.
But who do you want as your partner?
In the doubles?
Yeah.
I would just pick a person that I enjoy my time with because I don't know if anyone can play.
You want to be comfortable with, yeah.
I would play with Sherbini.
Sherbini.
Yeah.
That's a solid doubles choice. You can't go wrong with Sherbini. And Salma, have you thought about thinking of coaching post-career or not really? You don't want to do that?
The problem is I really, really love coaching and I love observing and I'm so good at that. Like I just love helping people in general, and if I have something that maybe can be useful to another person, I would love to pass it. But intentionally, I don't really want to be a coach, but I feel that I'm gonna somehow, maybe a little like part-time or,
I see.
I think I love squash. I think I love squash.
Just not watching squash. Just not watching it.
Yeah.
But who do you think is the most underrated player on tour right now?
You definitely want to like a girl name, right? Not in men.
Girl name, guy name, whoever you think we should watch out for.
Well, I would say Nada Best, but she did pretty good at the end of the season, so she's already there now. I would say also Yusuf Solomon.
Yeah, he's not talked about enough. Yeah, he's quietly crept up the top 20.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I love his game and love his movement, and
Yeah.
he's a really nice guy, and yeah, it's just yeah, it's just sometimes it just takes. And the problem is expects everyone's journey to be the same as others, or like peak at a certain age, or like break through in a certain way, or whatever. And it's just so it's hard, you know.
Mhm.
It's doesn't if someone didn't have a strong breakthrough or whatever, like other person, doesn't make him a less of a good player. It
Mhm.
just everyone is different. Everyone goes through things differently in different time, and some people have like a huge breakthrough. Some people are steadily, climbing the rankings, step by step, which is doesn't make them a less of a good player. They all like other than the other one, but yeah, I think he's a great player, and I think he's gonna get his breakthrough sometime sooner or later.
That's it. Yeah. That's not talked about enough, but yeah. I was going to ask who the most overrated player is, but I'm not going to do that to Salma. So I'm going to ask her who she finds most difficult to play against on tour, just in terms of style clashes.
I think I'm okay with playing with another player that has a completely different game than mine.
Okay.
I think I know how to. Yeah, it is hard. Like I would say, Goar has a very different game than mine,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I think I'm okay with managing that. Um, I would say I think SJ is really tricky to play.
Just with her racket work.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Um,
tough.
yeah, I think she's really tricky to play. Like
Yeah.
you just think you think you have a game plan, a solid game plan, and it's easy, you're gonna execute it, and then you find yourself out there completely lost.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most difficult thing, is that when you have a solid game plan, you think it's gonna be easily executed,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go out there and you just don't know what to
Doesn't
do.
work as planned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask some life-related questions, not squash anymore. Thank God. Um, if you're shipwrecked on an island, right, and all the basics are covered, what are the two things you bring with you?
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
So the basics are covered.
All basics are covered.
Okay. So there's food and water and everything.
Yep. Don't have to worry about that.
Um, Two things. I think it would be nice to a thing, or it can be like a person.
Um, anything you can bring. I guess you can bring a person to that danger
Any,
zone.
um, what do I? I'll bring my dog.
I just saw your Instagram post before this interview, so I was expecting you to say your
I'll
dog.
bring Simba.
Yeah.
He's down there. Um,
How
I'll
old is
bring
Simba?
Simba. He's 9 months.
Oh my God, it's a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lively
He's the
puppy.
cutest thing.
Yeah.
Me and him live alone in Cairo, and
Oh, that's
we fight all the time. Yeah. I'll bring Simba, and I'll bring Simba, and I'll bring I'm not gonna bring my phone. If I have a friend that I can bring with, it would be nice. If not, it's okay
companion.
too.
Yeah, that's fair. So I guess that's it. I don't know which friend that's gonna be dragged into an island.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Maybe speakers and music.
Big music fan.
But yeah, I think it would be nice to, or actually, if it's an island on a beach, it'd be nice to just hear the silence
and dance. I saw on your PSA webpage that one of your hobbies is dancing. Did we get that correct?
I love dancing.
Yeah. Got to get those speakers in.
Yes. So
Yep. How about best and worst purchase you've ever made?
I'm the worst in this. I buy so many things that I don't use. Okay, I think just a thing that just popped in my head. When I was, well, I bought a banana case, like a banana, and it's like plastic that you put the real banana inside. I don't know what's this called, and I really felt that I really need this in my life because, first of all, I don't really like bananas. I don't eat bananas, but I felt that I really need to get this banana plastic, whatever. And then when I got it and I opened it and I put the banana inside, the banana shape didn't fit in the plastic banana. So it's just
You got
useless.
scammed.
So yeah, I felt that okay. And these are like I buy so many things that I don't use or I don't really know why I buy them. But yeah, best purchase. Best purchase. Well, I like clothes in general and bags
Yeah.
and I like fashion.
Are you more of a summer fashion person or winter fashion?
Like both. I just love
Both.
fashion.
She's
I just
versatile. She's versatile on in any
I love
weather.
I love shoes. I love
Yeah.
bags. Yeah, I just anything that's related to that, it would be a good purchase for me.
And then the last question, I don't know if what are some of your biggest pet peeves?
What?
Pet peeves. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like things that annoy you. So, for example, I can say one of my pet peeves is people not being on time or being punctual.
Oh yeah.
Like some people, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Or like people who cut you off in the driving lane. That's a pet peeve.
Yeah, I hate people who are late. I hate that.
Yeah. Do you have any others?
And I hate uh, people who say that my intentions is blah blah blah, but their actions are
Oof.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they don't like what they're saying doesn't match their actions, which is I hate. It's
Yeah.
like I hate this. And I just really wish that whatever people say, just do it. Or just stand up
Just say
for
what
what
you say.
you
Yeah. Just do what you say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or don't say it.
Not,
I will
not
respect
that
that.
hard.
I'll
Yeah.
respect that you can do something or that you don't want to do something or anything, but do not do not try to be something that you're not or
Yeah.
say something that you can do. I just
Fair enough.
just really I hate that about people.
Yeah. Well, Salma, thanks for letting us know that. People tuning in, don't be like that.
Please.
But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Salma, for hopping on.
Thank you
and
so
doing the pod.
much.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.